Well, Jack, it's nice to be back with you. So, hi everyone. My name is Jennifer, and I am the founder of the School of Intuitive Leadership. And I'm here with Jack Jendo, founder of Brain Digits. And we pop in every week to do these lives under the theme of Entrepreneurs Let's Do It. So, essentially, it's to inspire you to take action and do the thing that you're feeling like you want to be doing in your business, in your life. So we talk a lot about business, but also just leadership, like business leadership and personal leadership. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics that I found out Jack also really loves, which is Ikigai. And it's essentially like a Japanese philosophy or way of living that helps you find that sweet spot where your purpose is. Um, I fell on Ikigai years ago, and I read the book, and I was really inspired. Um, so, Jack, I think you're a little bit more of like an expert on the Ikigai thing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you discovered it, and maybe just give us a little rundown of what Ikigai is?
Yeah, thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. Um, I'm actually so excited to talk about it because when I found Ikigai, I was just looking for. I wasn't looking actually for my purpose, but I was looking for a way to know to understand. Um, what is the field that I'm more passionate about, that I'm more attracted to, and I couldn't find because I'm in the digital technology field. I'm an entrepreneur. I work in human rights with the United Nations, and I love all of that, and I couldn't let any of these fields go. I asked everyone, like my mentors, my colleagues. I always ask people, my family, my friends, and they all say that you should focus on one thing. That sentence is always like, you should focus on one thing. But I didn't
Mhm.
want that because I loved all my fields. So then I was searching and searching and searching. I've read a couple of books, and I was doing already what I love, and but there's that idea, like, holding me back. Like, why am I splitting my energy between all these efforts? And then I found Ikigai, the tool, as a simple tool image. I didn't read the book. So I just looked at the four circles, and I found it like, these are my four circles. I'm doing something that I love. I'm doing another thing that I'm good at. I'm doing another thing that I'm being paid for, and I'm doing another four, like maybe two other fields that the world needs, which is, the work that I do in human rights and the relief and the NGOs and organizations that I've been working with for a long time. I couldn't let go. And it's funny that I didn't choose any of these fields. It somehow came to my journey. Since I was like very, very young. I was 12, 13 years old when I started working and going to Scout and to the youth groups and all this stuff. And it became my life. And then I decided to go into technology even before going to high school. So what I want to say is not like you decide this stuff. I think sometimes it comes to your journey, and you don't want to let go. You want it, it's something you love, something you're good at. You don't want to let anything. I found a tool. Um, it's like the combination of every two fields. I started combining human rights with digital technology, integrating the human rights values in business. So it's totally different. Like, it's a totally different taste. And I guess that I am the one person that have all these fields, and I have a mission that nobody else have, because some other people will have other fields combined together. So this combining things together, it's actually our passion. And if you go to your work and try to integrate your skills, not just stick by the book and follow what do you have your job description, then you will be unique. You will bring a diverse um, experience to the work, to your clients, to your colleague. You know these people when you see them. When they are bringing their passion, their interest, the things, that their skills into every single field they work in. So this was actually it gave me a belief, and decided to start, sharing this with everyone, especially with students at the universities, because you remember what does it feel when you were in the school. Everyone asks you what do you love, and you don't have an answer because it's the wrong question. You don't ask it this way.
Right.
How about you?
Yeah. You're freezing a little bit, Jack. So I'm gonna like reiterate a few things that you said just to make sure that people caught everything. Um, so so I agree with you that like this way through Ikigai is a much more organic way to find that thing that you will really love doing, that it's going to make an impact, and that will also, support you and sustain you. So you need, we can't just look at like what we love, or we can't just look at, what to do for make money, or we can't just look at impact. We have to look at that whole ecosystem and find that place in the middle, which they call Ikigai, where that can all come together. So I'm just going to kind of reiterate what Ikigai is. It's essentially that place where what you love doing meets what you're good at, meets what the world needs, meets what you can get paid for. And it's like that place in the middle where you can find, and I think, I don't know if I'm mistaken, Jax, I can't remember about this, but can you have more than one Ikigai? Or is it like a one time thing? And can it evolve and change over time?
I don't want to put that in a strict format, because yes,
Right.
you can, but
Hmm.
for me, my experience was to combine all the other, it could be your passion. It's not your ikigai, it's your passion. Your
Right.
ikigai is all of this stuff. So you might have two
Right.
three passion,
Right.
or things that you're passionate about. You might have two three missions, you might have multiple skills, you might
Right.
have two professions, but all of that is in you have somehow to connect the dots, so you find their ikigai. So I'm
Right.
here to do this, I'm here, this is my mission.
Right.
um and sometimes you need a little bit of, a little shift. I don't want to say that you have to keep everything as it is,
Right.
but sometimes, and you sometimes look to some stories where some
Mhm.
people try to shift from doing the same thing for as a job, and then they shifted to maybe start an NGO and then make a bigger impact from that
Right.
one single skill. And the opposite, sometimes you are working in NGO and turn it into business and help more people because you generate more income. So it's how you turn things, how you align things together, all the
Right.
four circles and the combination of every two circles, to make that multiple, mission that you have. And that is your ikigai. So ikigai is you as one,
Right.
body that includes all these stuff, from how I see it. I don't want to put it in a specific format,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, people, when they found the ikigai, the people who were using this terminology in Japan,
Yeah.
they didn't think about all this stuff. It was someone drew this, schema,
Yeah.
just because they wanted to explain it. But at the end, they had this concept in their lives. It's not like something you put on a board and draw it. It's something that they were living with. Um, so yeah, it can be in your mind, and you can add on it. I don't want to put it in a format. You can add something else. I don't know, or remove something. You might not want to be paid for something. I don't know.
Right.
um so yeah, but the idea is to combine all the things that you have. It's not just your passion, because some people go behind their passion, and then
Mhm.
they feel like it's not getting benefit for anyone, even for themselves, not
Right.
getting paid, and ending up not having their passion. It's becoming a burden. So this
Right.
is why this balance is very important, to find all these stuff. And it's really important to start this very early, just to ask the question. So we
Mhm.
save a lot of moments of anxiety for people just trying to do something they don't like. And then when you're stuck in a job, it's harder to find.
Yeah.
Although I encourage everyone to just keep asking these questions anytime in your life. You live once, so if you're working, work with a purpose. If you're playing, play with a purpose. Everything you do, do it for a purpose.
Yeah, I love that. And that was also the way I kind of envisioned it. I don't know. I remember when I found this, it was like everything just made so much sense. I was like, oh my God, this is such an easy way to find that sweet spot for how you can channel your, your skills and your passion and actually make a difference and get like paid for it at the same time. Um, I'm a big fan of journaling, so I would encourage people to, you know, um, maybe sit down and journal, or if you like to put it in Excel sheets or however you like to do it, but just like just brain dump, make a category for what you love, make a category for what you're good at, for what the world needs, what you think the world needs, and what you can get paid for, and just like brain dump in there and see what comes out. Because oftentimes, obviously, I talk a lot about, intuition and the right brain and the left brain. We function very much from our left brain most of the time, which is like the logical side of things. And so we generally just kind of look at what we already know. But when we start to really just brainstorm and let things come out of us in a more free way, we can kind of land on things that we forgot existed or couldn't see before. I'm actually inspired to redo this myself now, because I think the last time I read the book, which is the same book that we both read, which is Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. I strongly recommend the book. It is fabulous, and it's the same one that Jack read. It was over a decade ago, and I feel like so much has evolved in the last, like, I've been in business now for 12 years, and I'd be curious to see what comes out for me now, when I look at my ikigai again. And I think a lot of it is probably similar in the sense that we, like you said, ikigai is who we are, and so a lot of it is based around like just who we are in our most natural state. And that's the point of this. It's not actually about manufacturing something so much. It's more about revealing what is already inside you, revealing what you do really naturally, revealing or connecting the dots, like you said, to just like what is in front of us that the world needs. And I think the other thing that is important, or the reason why it's important to check in with it every maybe couple of years, is what the world needs changes also, right? So what the world needed 10 years ago is very different from what the world needs now. But your unique brilliance, I guess, inside, can always serve the world, no matter where we're at in our evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that what you said about things changed actually in all the quadrants, all the circles. It's not
Mhm.
even just the word, what the word needs. Sometimes it's fine to change what we love. We're growing. If you give this for an 10 years old kid, it will maybe change after 10 years and maybe not. So let's
Right.
just not go, keep it like something, because sometimes someone asks you when I was 10 years old, when they my father maybe asked me about what I want to be when I grow up. It was like, I want to be a doctor.
Right.
and then why do you want to be a doctor? Nobody asked that. you know
Right.
if we keep asking, then our brain will start thinking, and we can
Yeah.
find that. We will be lucky to find that, and it's fine after 20 years to change all of this. I changed it in one day. I was going to do the to going to the medical field, and just it took me one day from in the high school to just shift the whole thing. And I went to do business computing. It's a big change, and I was lucky to know that by that time, because I didn't want to be a doctor, but I
Right.
used to think for the last 12 years that I want to be a doctor. And helping is not just in one field. You can help anywhere, everywhere, as long as you're following your passion. And if you find your ikigai, if you're in business, if you're in the army, if you're, I don't know, pilot, whatever you're doing, if you're selling stuff that you like selling, if you're cleaning, if whatever field you are driving, if you do it with purpose, it's totally different, and your life will be changing. I don't want to make it sound like it's a very simple thing. I used to be struggling before that,
Right.
But as long as we have this awareness, it would be easier. As long as we know that, it would be easier, no matter what field we are, no matter what the situation is, how struggling our life could be. We
Right.
still can ask these questions every day or every week or whatever. Don't make it a stressful thing. Just put it in mind. Like as long as you just see the graph and talk about it, it's fine for me.
Yeah. And I think that's so important to remember because we're constantly evolving. And I love what you said about like no one ever asked you, why do you want to be a doctor? And I think one of the most important things we can do as entrepreneurs and leaders is constantly ask ourselves questions, constantly go into reflection to see, like, why are we doing what we're doing? Are we doing it from a place of like automation? Are we just like, is this like just an automatic way of doing things? Or are we doing it intentionally? Are we doing it because it inspires us, because it excites us? Um, and I think oftentimes, for me anyways, as soon as I start to feel like something feels like an obligation, it's because I'm not doing it. I'm not moving forward from an intentional place. I'm moving forward from an automatic place. Again, from the left brain of like just habit and what feels good and safe and what I already know. So when we ask ourselves questions, or even having some, I know I have a couple of really good business buddies. One in particular that Rashina, she's so good at asking me questions, of like getting me to think beyond the thing I just said or the thing I want to do. Um, and I think that that can be really, really helpful. And just like play with this. It's meant to be fun, right? It's not meant to be, like you said, this rigid, stressful thing. It's meant to like light something up inside of you and get you thinking beyond what you think you know, and accessing new potential and new possibility.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm. Mhm.
Yeah, it's actually I've written one guide within Brain Digits. It's something that we before we start working with any entrepreneurs, we have this in the beginning, including inside the personal leadership section. I always put this tool because it
Mm,
changed the whole thing. You come to me to help you start your business. You end up like not starting your business maybe, or starting another business, or
yeah.
it's like something you've been working on for the last 5 years and you change it in 1 hour. So it's magical sometimes, just because nobody asked you. Why are you doing that? If someone, or if you ask yourself why are you doing that, the whole story changes. Now there is something that I wanted to talk about, and every single time in the beginning I don't want to say dare, but I wouldn't ask this for my um, webinars or seminars participants. It's the empty spot in the Ikigai circles. For those who are watching, you just type Ikigai on Google and you find the graph, the schema that I'm talking about. Um, the combination of love and what you're good at is passion. And the
Mm,
combination of, your love, what you love and what the world needs, and the what you're good at, um, it's kind of, there are the empty spots. The empty spots are actually are empty in purpose. Why? Because sometimes when you follow what you love and you follow your passion and you're good at, but sometimes you feel you're useless because you're not using that to word what the world needs, or you're not using it to get paid. So for example, I love singing. I'm very good at singing. I love it. It's my passion, but I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not going to put it at work to get paid. I'm not sharing it with other people. Um, yeah,
I just,
exactly.
there you go. I
Yes.
just want to show it while we're talking about it.
Yeah, thank you. So if you see the four empty spots, which is yes, exactly. If you look at the top one, if you combine your love and passion and mission together, um, you're fine. Your brain is healthy. Your
Hmm.
body is healthy. You don't have anxiety, but you have no wealth, and you have no money to survive maybe, because you're not turning that into something that can bring you back not just money. I mean, for me, currencies are multiple. You have
Right.
money, you have connections, you have networks, you have whatever it is. You're not getting any benefit of it, and that would break your balance, whether you need it or not. Um, and there are other empty spots. If you go to the to the bottom empty zone, um, it's when you make a lot of money in business, you're good at that business, it's what the world needs, but you're feeling empty. You're doing that, all is good, but you feel empty because it's not something you're passionate about, or you don't love it, you're just good at, and people needs it. It's something like you're selling, the world needs that, you're good at doing that, service or product, but you don't love it. It's not your passion. So it gives you that feeling of emptiness. So it's affecting the whole, aspects of our life.
Right.
um yeah, and sometimes when you go to the right, it's the last empty space, and interesting because the word needs, it's what the word needs, and
Okay.
you love it, and you're getting paid for, but you have some uncertainty, um, that you're not sure that this is what, you're not good at that thing. Yes, the word
Mm.
needs it, you're getting paid, and you love it, but you're not good at. So if you remove one of these pieces, it's breaking your balance. It's not your ikigai. So this is how somehow, I hope I didn't make it complicated, but those empty spaces are very important to locate. But in the beginning, I used to think that, oh my God, well, what's that? It's just because of the drawing. You cannot draw it otherwise. But it
Right.
is something like you can, it can help you to find your balance.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you mentioned this. Let me stop the screen sharing here, so we can be back. I'm really happy that you mentioned the empty spaces. I had actually never noticed those in the graph. And I think that's exactly, those empty spaces are most people's pain points. It's like that gap that they end up in where they're like, there's something missing. It's that feeling that something's missing. And this is what I love so much about Ikigai is it kind of yeah, it removes that pain point of something's missing because everything is just really nicely balanced. And I think that's what we need as human beings when we look at this graph. Like we need that balance of um, feeling like we're not just doing something we love, but it's actually making an impact and it's actually, you know, helping us pay our bills and keep going in our life. So yeah, I'm really passionate about this, and I'm actually inspired to reread the book again because it's been such a long time. And I don't know, Jack, I'm inspired for us to do an Ikigai workshop at the school with the brain digits. Maybe we could do an actual practical workshop on this. So because, you know, the goal is always in our sessions is like to get people to take action. So maybe it could be fun to actually walk people through a workshop on this. Just
Yeah,
throwing it
actually, yeah,
out.
I've done two workshops just for ikigai before.
Yeah.
um it was one was for, people who are employed, entrepreneurs, people in business. It was good. I mean, many people loved that. It was part of the personal leadership, but the tool itself was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was shocking how many people joined when I made it for like ikigai for university students. It was,
Mm,
focusing on university students. I had
right.
hundreds of people, and then in the beginning I felt like, I didn't maybe I shouldn't be doing that, because you make people confusing. It's
Right.
makes people confused about what they want to do, and especially if you're in your last year in the university. And then I realized that many people followed me and they were asking me questions. So I said, yeah, okay, that's good, because if you don't explain more, for every person, maybe based on every case, it would be dangerous, because you could lost like 1 year thinking, oh my God, I wasted like 20 years of studying something that, it's, yeah, it's actually, it's not funny. I it's it's really, I call it in my country, I call it a crime. You're committing a crime in school. because you should be focusing on that before focusing on the history and mathematics and physics. Before doing that, yes, you can teach that, but before doing that, I want to know what should I focus on, what would do I like to do in my life. And you
Yeah.
cannot answer like, okay, what in university we used to get like those people who come and give you the awareness about the fields and all the stuff in marketplace. It's all, it's like marketing the fields that they want to market in the universities. This is a crime, this is a
Mhm.
humanitarian crime. So yeah, this is what I wanted to change. So after that session with the university students, everyone asked me, why don't we get that? It's just 1 hour. Why don't we get that in the university and save like tens of years? After working for 10 years, you start asking yourself, what I'm doing in this job.
Right.
It's
Years and money and energy. I know. And yeah, I mean, I think entrepreneurs need to take over the school systems, that because we go off and figure these things out on our own. And I remember also, like, I didn't even know it was a thing to become an entrepreneur. Like, it, no one had ever even showed me that possibility. And which is what inspired me to start the School of Intuitive Leadership, which is essentially like, this is where anybody can come and learn about leadership in business, because there are no schools out there and people don't teach us this.
yeah.
And it's a way for me to also like pull in all of these incredible people like you and all these incredible leaders I meet, to like teach these all kinds of amazing things that we don't learn at school. So yeah, I love this. Well, let's talk about a potential workshop, and we can let people know. And if you guys feel excited about maybe learning more or doing a practical workshop on this, just send Jack or I a message in LinkedIn, and we'd be happy to, yeah, look at that potentially. And the book, I don't know if I put the book link in this chat, if it's going to go in the chats everywhere else, but I'm putting it in this chat here in case. I'm not sure if it's going to go into the live of LinkedIn and Facebook. But if not, just to reiterate, the name of the book that we recommend is Ikigai, the Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. And yeah, I think, is there anything else you wanted to share about that, or do we feel complete?
Well, yeah, I just want to say one thing. Don't focus on the word maybe ikigai, because for some people it might sound like I have to read the book, or it's something, you know, uh, um, something spiritual. No, it's not. It's just a couple of questions that we ask ourselves every day, and just we until we find the answer. It's not something you need to be anxious about. You just, ask yourself, ask people, ask other people. It's not just about us, it's about others. When we ask people, why are you doing that, it's amazing how you can change their life. So keep
Yeah,
asking this, so people, when you can do that, of course, it would be amazing, because it's inspiring. It inspires you, and it inspires the others, to make the world a better place.
I completely agree. And as always, if there are any topics around business or leadership that you would love for Jack and I to talk about 1 week, just send us a private message in LinkedIn, and we'd be happy to consider that topic. We love just digging into anything really that's related to leadership and business. And we will be back next week, same day, same time, for our next live. So thanks, Jack, for walking
Oh,
us through that today.
thank you, Jen. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.